Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to TRG Central. This is uh, the series the 2025 Road to the Triple Crown. This is episode 22. In this episode, we'll be covering races for week 49. Just a couple more weeks, and we have completed a full schedule of the 2025 3-year-olds that ran up to the Triple Crown and beyond. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get week 49 started. Now up on week 49, there's just two allowance races this week. I searched and there were no stakes races for just 3-year-olds and one a few stakes races that were 3 and up, but only one of them managed to have one 3-year-old, and that 3-year-old wasn't even part of the road to the Triple Crown all season, so I figured it probably wasn't worth the effort to card it. So anyway, we're just running a couple allowance races to give some horses an opportunity to run that have not run too often or have not had the opportunity to win a race or even uh, place or show, in the money. So let's go ahead and view the first race. It's going to be run in Ellis Park. And for the 3-year-old fillies, it's normally a 8 furlong, 1 mile race on dirt. And here's our 8 entries for the field for the first allowance race here at Ellis Park. And you may recognize a couple of these fillies as they have run at least one or more races throughout the season. And we'll get to that when we go to the betting window. The second race will be uh, the the 3-year-olds for uh, the Colts. It's usually open, but since the fillies have been getting a lot of allowance races for the last couple of weeks, we've just locked this one in for the Colts. So let's take a quick look at this one. You'll see this is a pretty hefty purse for an allowance race at 370. Even the fillies at 220 is nothing to sneeze at for an allowance race. And we have the Colts running at 9 furlongs on dirt. And there we do. We added one more because we're getting to the end of the season, and there are a lot more Colts than there are fillies, so we decided to just add one more Colt to this allowance race. And you may, again, recognize some. I would think a few of you have seen the Sandman run a few times, but then again, we'll go ahead and when we get to the betting window, we'll go ahead and take a look at their past performances. So I think we're all set. The fields are locked, so let's go ahead and run the first allowance race. Again, 1 mile, 220,000 for 3-year-old filly, and we're running it at Ellis Park this evening. Okay, as you see, we picked some pretty good horses. Fillies, as it could be a pretty interesting race, maybe 3 or 4 at the finish. Take a look at past performances and see what we have here. You see, like I mentioned, all the fillies have run at least one race in our series. Some have run a couple. You can see the Junta has run 3, and that's the most. Most everyone is 1 or 2. And let's see, Junta won some money, Minnesota money, and only won once, but it ran to 132, finishing second in the Monomy stakes race. And here's Vixen running the Elwood and came in third, picked up 72,000. Let's see, Treat Color to run the Allowance Race in the Sunland Park. Didn't pick up any cash on the Sunland, but did come in second on the Allowance Race. And here's Paris Lily. Delaware Oaks came in third. And here's Getting After It. It won in the Bernadette, I think, stakes, or it might be Oaks. And let's see. She ran in both. She ran in the heat race, came in third, then in the finals came in fifth. Last up here is Late Night Call, whopping 18,000, running the Delaware and the Allowance race. So let's see. So that means the only filly hasn't won any money yet is Icona Mama. Did run in the Virginia Oaks, but finished fifth. No money involved there. So that's the past performances for our field. Let's head over to Ellis Park and get this race underway. And for Ellis Park, 8 furlongs is pretty tough because we have starting here in the turn. We probably should have backed it up to 9 or ran a 7 furlong out of the starting gate here. Anyway, it's set up for 8, and let's go ahead and check the Stewart's Tower. And everything looks fine, and they're off in 2008 First Street colors. So like I said, this is a quick turn, and then we head into the back straight, and we have Icona Mama with the lead. Icona Mama just lost the lead as 4 fillies just passed her in the back straight. And she just took over lead and passed up all 4. What a interesting race we're having here. We're in now the back turn and the clubhouse turn, and we have 3 fillies neck and neck going into the home stretch. And it's going to be a pretty interesting race. Oh, it looks like Icona Mama and got a little bit of speed here on the last game turn and got to the finish line first, then 7, then 4. So that brings Icona Mama had not won any money, just picked up a nice purse of winning of 132,000. Vixen comes in second. Paris Lily comes in third. And last in the winnings is Late Night Call, picked up, trotted away with 13,200. So that was a very interesting and exciting race at Ellis Park. Let's go ahead and get ready for our second allowance race here at Ellis Park for the Colts. 9 furlongs, $375,000 purse. Here you see your 9 Colts in the field. Let's go ahead and take a look at their past performances. And again, we've been selecting the allowance races pretty much the last 3 or 4 weeks of not allowing any entrants that have won a race. They could have came in the money second or third, but not first. You see we have quite a few horses here that have competed in a couple races. The Lordship is the only one that just has 1 race, and they won the allowance race. Didn't do too well, didn't win any money. Dr. Ruman's same problem. He ran in the Sam F. Davis filly 8th, and then 8th again in allowance. No money won yet. Optical, same thing, went in the allowance, and the Comet Stakes, no money won. Sandman, as we had mentioned to you, was looked like would have been the favorite. He's only been able to come in third, but he did it 4 times for 375,000. And he was in the Thanksgiving race, so that's pretty interesting that the ownership allowed him to race a second time. He did come in eighth, and they kind of figured he didn't put up a big effort late in the race and decided to let him run again in an allowance race. So it left 9,000. Cool intention 21. Look at that. We're thinking Baytown running 6 races and has not finished in the money at all. It did pick up 30,000 in one race, the Ohio Derby finishing 4th. And Landing Craft finished 4th in 2 races, the Allowance and the El Camino. So that's the past performances for our field. Let's go ahead and check the odds real quick. And you see Sandman overwhelming odds. It's a toss-up for second, third, and fourth. We'll see how that goes as the race develops. So we may have thrown the ringer in here in Sandman. Let's see what if that ends up being the case. Sewage Tower, everything looks good. And we have 8 out of the gate first. That was Landing Craft going into the first turn. It's a 9 furlong race here at Ellis Park. Oh, let's see. Clock Tower has a few extra movement points. We'll go ahead and see if we can help Clock Tower out. And got Clock Tower in second place right now. So left, but we still have a few others that need to move on this game turn 2. And there you go, we're into the back straight now with 5. No, that's 9. Down left and Cool Intentions and Clock Tower. Still in the back straight, looks like 6 is out. But Team Baytown is down, just trotting off of the course. And going into the back straight, we have a new leader, Landing Craft. Clock Tower. And then we're in the home stretch, and I don't know what happened to Sandman. 7, he got caught up in traffic. He's gonna be lucky to finish in the money, and he doesn't. Sandman was a very disappointing run here this evening. So we have Landing Craft with the win. Look at that, if you would have bet on Landing Craft to win. Look at Clock Tower just a place over $189. And Solid Left and Lordship. You see Sandman finished 7th. And compared to all the money we won, everybody thought he was going to win. But sometimes that happens. Okay, well, that's the second race at Ellis Park. It became a very interesting race when Sandman did not perform like he should have. And we have Brington Tower that did not, Brington Baytown did not finish. Let's see if there was any news about Brington. Yep, someone loses the jockey. Who was the jockey here in Brington? Well, we'll have to check that. Who was the jockey? fell off the horse. It was Marshall Mendez. Hopefully he's okay. They didn't bring the stretcher out. They just helped him off the field, and we'll get a report later, maybe next week, on if he had any injuries or anything. So, well, that's it here from Ellis Park. Next week, as of now, we only have 2 allowance races scheduled. We'll be running them at Sacramento. That's the fairgrounds out there. And the same thing at 3-year-old fillies and the 3-year-old colts. And look at that colt racing Sacramento, $400,000, $250 for the fillies. Now, of course, if there's a stakes race that we have not noticed yet on the schedule, we'll add a stakes race too for the 3-year-old if there are. Otherwise, we'll be running 2 allowance races again. So that's it for the races. We can do a little thing. We're going to take a look at the winnings for the males and see what that is. There would be hardly any standings in the Kentucky Derby victory points, and neither one of the allowance races awards victory points. Of course, no allowance race does. They're just on the schedule for filler and to give the horses that did not run too many races an opportunity to run. So, let's see, now it's quite our thing. 4 million since the bull. Let's see, I don't know. Vatican. I was seeing if any of the allowance race horses got in, but now you had to get at least $400,000. We'll switch over to the fillies real quick here. There we go. La Cara is the leading money winner for the fillies. $2 million fillies. And now, although we only needed 200,000 to crack the top 20 in the fillies, that wasn't enough for whoever did win that race to get into the top 20 and money winners. So I think that's going to be here at TRG Central. We'll be signing off. This is Gary. Hope you had a wonderful evening with us here watching a couple of allowance races at Ellis Park. Good night, everyone.